Hey, what's up, world? It's Mr. Mokaciá, Mokaciá Clothing, www.mokacia.com. Mr. 504 to the Me Show, Third Wall to the World, USMC Beast, the Gumbo Warrior. Coming at you again with another Mokaciá Motivational Monday. And just want to tell y'all thank you and I love you. The long way, you heard me? So as we go throughout our weeks and temperatures changing, obviously. So what can I tell you to get you engaged on what you need to do for this week and what to think about? So what I'm thinking is you gotta jump in that water, man. You're gonna have to swim. You have to jump in that water because you're gonna have to swim. When I was in boot camp, right? One of my biggest fears was swim qualifications. That was my biggest fear, right? Out of all the other things that was going on, shooting a weapon, obviously I was scared of that, because growing up where I came from, you try to avoid that kind of drama. You normally running and ducking. But swimming, I always had a fear of it from when I was a little child and, my cousins playing with me in the water. And so I've always had this phobia with it. Well, you couldn't get through boot camp without going through this. You have to go through the water. That's the message within itself right there. I had to go through the water. So climbing the ladder had fear in it within itself, because the higher you climb, the further away from the water you got. And looking down at the water caused more anxiety because you were so far away when you looked down. And even at that time, I didn't want to jump in that water. I just didn't want to do it. But it was like, if you don't jump in this water, you're not going nowhere. And it was like, I'll push you in the water, scaring us like that. And bottom line is, you couldn't go forward without having to take a dip. Go forward without taking a dip. So when we got up there, told us, look down, you see it, look up, take a full step, go. So you had to take that full 30-inch step and just drop. Sounded simple, but it's actually more complex than I thought, because having to take that look down at that water and then holding your head up, you were literally stepping into the unknown. Because even then, as you're going down in that water, you really don't appreciate how deep that water can be. And sometimes jumping in that water, it was like, hey, you drop. Obviously I'm heavier than what I was back then. But even back then, when I jumped in that water, I went straight to the bottom. I had to get to the top. I fought to get to the top because my survival depended on it. But even when I got to the top, there was something else I had to do. Had to tread water. Had to stay afloat. Then after I stayed afloat, I had to swim through the water to the other side. My God. And the whole time, fear was ever present. Doubt, self-doubt was ever present. And the risk of not accomplishing and not finishing what I started was there too. So, what can I tell you, man? You gotta jump in that water. Sometimes you just got to take that full 30-inch step, and you're gonna have to suck it up, man. You're gonna have to go in the deep end. And when you get in there, It's gonna consume you. It's gonna overwhelm you. But you gotta fight to get to the top. Because your survival depends on it. So get to the top. Then when you get to the top, learn how to stay afloat. And once you stay afloat, and once you're up there, you're not finished. You gotta keep on swimming. Because you gotta get to the other side. So learn to swim, man. Whatever it is in your life, whatever adversities you have in your life, you're gonna have to take that dip into the unknown. Whether it's starting a business, whether it's, starting a new profession, school, life, family, relationships, you're gonna have to take a step into the unknown. Because there are certain variables you just can't control. Look at it, hold your head up, take that 30-inch step, and you're gonna have to drop into it. And there's gonna be times where it's gonna have to go to the bottom. It's inevitable. You're gonna have those trials and tribulations that you're gonna have to struggle and fight through. But you're gonna have to persevere and pop to the top, man. And even when you get to the top, your work's not done. You gotta tread the water. And once you tread the water long enough, you figure out what's the next step after that, you gotta swim towards it. Because there's victory on the other side. All right, man. Take it for what it's worth. I love you the long way, and there's nothing you can do about it. Peace and blessings. Make sure you go to that website, www.mokacia.com. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Mokaciá 504. That's Mokacia 504. Make sure you get that book, Gumbo Warrior, Recipe of a True Leader. Get that thing in your life. Get a piece of positivity. Peace and blessings, man. My hand getting numb, so I gotta start running faster. I'm out.